Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Michael Camo from T3 Live. Can I get a quick sound check? Can you type 1 in the questions box if you can hear me? Just want to make sure. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, so welcome to tonight's event. The Quant Edge, 3 simple concepts that explain all market movement, and it is presented by Rob Smith, and Rob's going to be on in just a minute. Before we get started, I need to show you guys our new and improved legal disclosure. So while you guys read this, can you tell us where you're calling in from? We have a big crowd. We just want to see where everybody is. Hey, Brazil, Dallas, Austin, Baton Rouge, Atlanta, Memphis, London, Indianapolis, Cuba. Okay, guys, Cuba. I don't think we've had anyone from Cuba before. Okay, here's the second part of the disclaimer. A few housekeeping items. Yes, we are recording. Yes, we will send it to you. We are going to hold a Q&A after Rob's presentation. Send your questions in sooner rather than later. We always get a ton of questions. We want to make sure we answer everything. And again, turn off your trading platform, your TV, your podcasts, whatever you're listening to. It'll distract you and it could hurt the streaming video. And finally, we are going to make a special offer. We think it's going to make you smile. It's different from anything we've ever done. And we hope you'll act out tonight. So a little bit about Rob Smith. Rob is the director of our Quant Edge program. Rob joined the CBOE as a pit clerk at the age of 15. He was on the Chicago Stock Exchange for 16 years. He was an independent trader. As an OTC enlisted specialist, he provided independent research to several firms on the trading floor, and he discovered the 3 truths in trading that comprise the Quant Edge strategy. Now, the reason we're excited about this event is that Rob takes a completely different approach to the market, probably than anybody you've ever heard before. He's broken all price action down into 3 essential elements that bring total clarity to your trading. So with that said, I'm going to pass control over to Rob right now. Rob, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Let me get to this, show my screen here. See if I can get the right one. Welcome everybody. Bear with me, and got the right screen.
Yep, we're all good.
You can see and you can hear me, everybody? Check, check. Yes, sir? Mike, we good?
Yep, we're all good.
All right, great. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Rob Smith, the In the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live. And yeah, as Michael just said, I've been doing this pretty much my whole life. I'm 53 years old. And when I started down on the trading floor, computers just started hitting the floor. I was 1989 when I started full time, so almost 30 years. And I started looking at charts back then and reading books and just having a heck of a time trying to figure it out. And it took me a long time. It took me 20 years to figure it out, but I did it. So anyway, as we go along here, oops, let me click on my screen. I made a video at the beginning of the year on New Year's Day called The Greatest Story Ever Sold, as I further quantified what we're doing. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. I was laughing so hard when I came in with it because what we'd already done is quantified pretty much everything. Now we got it down to where we can grab almost everything. The greatest story ever sold, basically, is what is the problem in this business, right? As most of you know, most traders fail. Why would that be? There has to be a commonality, right? There has to be a commonality, and because either you say that everybody's just an idiot, they've got all this information on how to win. Here's all the things that we do, but yet most traders blow out. And the greatest story ever sold is technical analysis, and it's got to go. And I'm going to show you why. So industry has so much info to make money, but it's a terrible track record. Just can't do it. And the studies and the indicators, and nobody's really sat down and tried to contemplate why that is, right? Because I've heard from so many people, and they'll come to me and say, I do anything to be a successful trader, and I'll work so hard, and they do. And I know I've done it. You know, I've sat there and gone through all the books and billions of charts, and still hard. Well, we're going to solve that problem first. Like if this worked the way it's promised, you'd see a lot more, not only just billionaires, but people just successful at all, right? You would think with all this stuff. So we have to have a commonality of what the problem is, right? And I'll tell you what the problem is. It's technical analysis. So let's think about it, because in your normal life, you have rational thought, right? In your normal life, you start with rational thought, but when it comes to trading, people will listen to anything. It's kind of like when you see something like on the news where there's a phone scam and it sounds so stupid. You're like, who would possibly fall for that? You're like, whenever there's money involved, people will believe anything, right? Especially if they can see stuff. So let's start with Fibonacci himself, where people will use Fibonacci retracements or whatever they want to believe is going to be applicable to price, right? It's not. It's a mathematical equation. What price is an aggregation of buying and selling. It has nothing to do with it. But what people will do is the software is the problem. How people are presented data and how they absorb data, right? So software presents data to you, and then you try and put it into whatever you believe is working. So what people will do is obviously, if you've seen the software with Fibonacci, where they put a point on and then they spread out their little fan and say it's coming into my 0.61 and all this, right? And I'm like, no, it didn't. It goes through it, right? And they're like, no, it's coming into it. I'm like, no, it went through it. Because if it was true, if Fibonacci was applicable to price action, you could sit there and show me every move ever, right, on what was going on. And you can't do that, because if you were going to be able to do that, you'd have to use one of these calculators. Don't sit there and show me your fanned out web lines, right? Because that doesn't add up at all, right? If you show it, it's always going through a little bit. And as you know, in math, is an exact science. So if it comes into that number, it's got to go to that number exactly. It's not 2 times 2 is 4. Anything outside of that is wrong, right? That's mathematics. So that is not applicable at all. Okay, so next problem. Moving averages. And you'll have people say, well, which one do you use? Which time frame? The smooth, the this, the this. And the problem with moving average is all it does is follow the price. It's not possible to have any bearing on future outcome, because all it does is follow it. So if you were to come to Chicago to my office and I say, you're going to follow me around Chicago, all I got to do is take one step out the door, turn around and ask you where I'm going. You say, I don't know, I'm following you. Same damn thing. Right? It's not possible. So people will use it because of software presents it to you, because you live in a physical world. It appears the moving, it might, look at this, you're going to get murdered in here. Right? Get murdered in here. This is an entire year of VNQ. You get murdered in here trying to use a moving average, right? Because all it's do is following it back and forth, right? So it's a lagging indicator. Since it follows it, a lagging indicator, if you think about that, it's an oxymoron. It's a lagging indicator. All it does is follow. So people will say false language and reinforce things in their mind by saying it's riding the moving average. That's not possible. The moving average is riding the price. Or they will say it's bouncing off the moving average or bouncing at all. That's not true, because price can't bounce. It doesn't have mass. Otherwise, we could just apply physics to it. But that's the way software presents things to you. And when you continue to use false language, it continues to get reinforced. And when you watch CNBC or TV and they say it's a bounce play or it's going to hold the 200-day moving average, you're reinforcing these lies, right? So when people say it's going to hold the 200-day moving average, no, the moving average is coming up to the price, right? That's because that's what it does. And so other people will say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy because everybody's watching the 200-day. That's not true either, because if that were true, the whole world would line up to buy whatever it is on the 200-day moving average. The price would sell down to 1 cent in front of it and never trade again. Somebody's got to break price, right? Because it can't physically bounce. There's a stare down. Somebody's got to break price. So all that it does, right? All that the moving average does is follow the price, right? It's not possible, right? Because other people will say it's a momentum indicator, okay? And you might have heard like a sports team has momentum. Well, you might remember if you watch college basketball, these guys were the first team to go 16 seed and upset a number 1 seed ever, right? And so if you were going to use the analogy at that point, you would say Virginia had the momentum coming into the playoffs. They're number 1, but they lost to a 16. That's because when you say momentum without single mass, it's an analogy. So what you're doing when you say a moving average is a momentum indicator, you're using an oxymoron to try and predict an analogy. Here's what momentum is. Mass velocity equals momentum. And price does not have mass. It's not possible, right? Otherwise, trading would be very simple, right? We just apply physics to it, right? But because you live in a physical world, and it's projected to you that way, and people keep talking this way, that's what you're getting. It's just not true. Another thing that you'll hear people say is the risk reward ratio. Right? I'm gonna go in here on this, and I'm gonna say this is a risk reward ratio. Right? They'll say it's 2 to make 8, or whatever they want to say for whatever reason, right? Using these false indicators. All right, and that's actually a true statement. You might be risking 2 to make 8. It's also misleading. All right, because if you ever took a statistics class, it has a much higher probability of moving 2 before it goes 8. Right? And so if there was a pie chart and you had to see that, because when somebody says, I'm risking 2 to make 8, it sounds like a 50-50 deal. It's not. It's not at all, right? Especially if you look at a pie chart of whatever it may be and say 95% of the time you're going to lose. But when people say it's 2 to make 8, it sounds, like something pretty good, right? How about this? I'm going to give you even better risk reward ratio. Why don't you just go buy a Powerball ticket and say I'm risking $2 to make 300 million, right? It's the same damn thing. It's stupid, right? It just makes no sense at all. But people like to say what they're going to say, and this business is just, the proof is in the business. The proof is how many traders fail, right? It's got to be the reason. These have to be the reason, right? And a long time ago, I threw a lot of this stuff out and said there's got to be more to it. There's got to be some more commonality that can make it simplified. Because when I first started looking and reading through everything, there was always an asterisk that said, oh, well, certain things work in certain conditions, certain things work in other conditions, right? And I'm like, well, how about a book on when those conditions are, right? And no, by the time you figure out, it's already gone, right? So then there's another thing that people like to say. Oh, it's the algorithms. It's the algorithms are picking me off. There's their excuse for why they're losing. Oh, that's if it wasn't for these darn algos, trading has changed. I got news for you, and I'm going to show you today. Price action is the same yesterday, today, and forever. It's impossible. It can't change, right? The only thing that changes is the speed and method of execution, right? And so, yes, robots might be faster. They're also stupid. They do what they're told. They're actually our friends, right? So when people say the algos, you think like you put a stop in there and it goes right to your stop and then goes back the other way, and they're like, oh, the algo picked me off. That's how price action just works, right? As I'll show you. Because if you think an algorithm just chewed through 200,000 shares to pick you off and then go back the other way, you're out of your mind, right? Now, there are algorithms that will pick you off, but you won't see it, right? Because when algorithms get a bad rap because it's really automated trading, right? And most of them are stupid. They're told maybe that's why some VWAP things work, stuff like that. But if you're getting picked off by an algo, they're doing sub pennies. You don't even see it, right? That's what high frequency trading is, jumping in front of you before you even see it for a penny. And if you think that's getting bent over, you should have been in this business when I started. You used to have to call a guy and say, hey, man, I want to buy 200 shares IBM. Okay, what's your account number? Okay, then he'd call a guy on the trading floor and go, hey, we need to buy 200 shares IBM. Okay, then he'd write it down, then give it to a runner. Then he'd give it to the trader who had to walk over to the specialist, get you your 200 shares, and he'd be like, what's the market? It's 100 to a quarter. I got 200 to buy, 100 a quarter, 100 and a half. You got any at 3/8? No. Okay, write it down, send it back to him, right? Give it to the guy who calls the guy who then calls you back. And you think you're getting bent over now? You're out of your mind, right? These guys are picking you off for millipennies, right? And so don't believe that kind of stuff. Price action is the same, okay? Now, if we can dismiss all that stuff, right? If we can dismiss all that stuff. But here's one thing I will say, because I know some people hold on tight and be like, no, my little method works, and blah, blah, blah. It works for what I'm going to show you. But the reason why this can be perpetuated for so long, some people make money on the belief that this stuff does work. And there's two ways that they do that, right? And so I don't like to rip people down, man. I'm just trying to go after a belief system. The two ways that people are successful using this stuff is that they manage their risk very well. right? Because they don't know why things go up or down and how far they're going to go, right? But they manage the risk very well. Another thing that not everybody has the luxury of is something called screen time. And what that means is when you just sit there and just look at this stuff until it becomes somewhat of a second nature, right? You're going to pick up on a few of the things that I'm showing you, but not everybody has the luxury to sit there and have that screen time, right? If you have another job or you burn through your money and you know, stuff like that. But those are the two reasons that stuff like that would work. So the true nature of price action and the way that price action can only trade, can only go, all right? Okay, we got the indicators now. So the price is governed by the aggression of the buyers and sellers, and that's period, right? That's how price action works. So when people say, why is it going up, more buyers than sellers? That's not true. There's always got to be an aggregate because you got to buy it from somebody. But aggressive is taking the offer. So if I have 50 million shares to buy, but I just sit on the bid, price might not go higher. Just like I said with that 200-day moving average. Yeah. So, but if I'm taking the offer, this thing's going up, right? So the past direction is irrelevant to the future. So when people say, oh, the MACD crossed up, you know what that means? Price just went up. Oh, it's coming into my moving average. That means price was going up, now it's going down, right? So I think we're going to get out of here. I think, yeah, there we go. So here's the reality. There are only 3 scenarios you must understand. That there's only 3 possible things that can happen from one bar to the next, right? This is very important. There's only 3, right? This makes it very simple. From one bar to the next, you can only do one of 3 things. The first thing you can do is go an inside bar. That means that we didn't take out the prior highs or lows. That's a consolidation. Nobody can dispute that, right? No one can dispute that. Now the bar might be big and and all that, but if you don't take out the previous highs or lows, that's consolidation by definition. Nobody can dispute that. Scenario 2, the bar breaks one side of the range. That's trending. Nobody can dispute that. It's going in one direction. That's going that way, right? Can't dispute that. Now, the thing that makes it difficult, that flies in the face of everything you've been told, right? Even though you know they exist, most people don't know their importance. The third scenario, the bar takes out both sides of the range, and that's a reversal or a range extension on both sides. That occurs because we know outside bars exist, right? And so when you read books on pattern recognition and BS like Head and Shoulders and, and Cup and Handles and stuff like that, those same books will tell you that a broadening formation is rare, when it's actually one of the only 3 things that can happen, and it's so prevalent, it's ridiculous. And that alone is what cost me years of work of being told that, right? Because when somebody tells you that they're looking at a Head and Shoulders or whatever, what that tells you is that they're looking for what they've been told to look for from the books, right? They're not, and they're only using one time frame. And so from a psychological standpoint, the reason all this rampant stuff has still stuck around is a psychology concept called cognitive bias. And what that is a systematic pattern of deviation from norm or rationality and judgment. Individuals create their own subjective social reality from their perception of the input. And that is what is going on. So let's get to the truth. Okay. Oops, sorry. Now I guess I go to the charts, Hal. And oops, sorry. So now that we said that there's only 3, right? What we want to do is we want to see how we can use them, all right? So there's another concept now that we add to it. There's 3 scenarios, but just like a moving average is moving higher, right? So it's like, why would that do that? Or what's doing that, right? To get the direction, we add a thing called the time frame continuity principle. What that means is that if we go to Baidu, now we will use, and I'm going to show you, yearly and quarterly charts, but we focus our main research on monthly, weekly, daily, and 60 as the main participation groups, and we go down shorter, right? But what this means is how we add this to the scenarios. Just like I said, all price is an aggregate of buying and selling. So it's using the scenarios for understanding market psychology, who's wrong where, and what you're likely to do, because we know what people in losing positions are likely to do, and we know where they're about to go red, because you know that feeling when you're green and you're about to go red. We can use different groups to trigger that, and then we combine that with knowing what's happening. And this is really a great feeling. Most people sitting there hoping their analysis works, hoping their analysis. Here's something that we know to be true. When Baidu opens the month here, right, and is red on a monthly basis, this month, the monthly participation group by price and time is hitting the bid. That's the only way that could happen, right? They're hitting the bid. Now we reconfirm that with the weekly. Are they still hitting the bid this week? They are. How about today? Yep. Then you can go down to the 60, and anytime that thing goes red, puke. Right? They are hitting the bid, right? So you can gauge this off the opening of the 60, because right at this moment, when it comes back through here, all participation groups that we know by price and time are hitting the bid. Is that important to know? You bet it is, because we can cause that to happen, right? And you'll have corrective activity. So let's say in here, scenario 3, as soon as it opens here and starts dropping, it's already in full time frame continuity to the downside. Okay, so now here's what's really important about how you can time this stuff with time frame continuity. Okay, is that there's only 3 kinds of reversals that can possibly happen. This is very important, because you hear people trying to say, this is the reversal of the thing, of the that, right? It's a spike on high volume. No, it's not. There's only 3 ways that price can reverse, okay? If we go to my handy dandy. So first, Apple 15er from this morning. Okay, you see this gap's down. That's a 2 down, because it took this 15-minute, right? Took out this side of the range. That's a 2. That's a 1 inside. That's an equilibrium, right? So if the seller's going to come back, they're going to go 2, 1, 2 and hit it. But on a reversal, 2 down, 1, 2 back up, right? And that pops right up for us on the opening this morning, right? That's one way you can go. Two reversal, 2 in one direction, taken 2 the other way. And the only way you can do it is you take out one side of the range in return and go 3. That's the only way price can reverse. That's a good thing to know, because what we can do then is look for price to reconfirm full time frame continuity, and we can look for a combination of this stuff in a whole lot of things. So if we go to now, like, this will change, like, depending on higher volatility. We don't necessarily need the monthly and the weekly. We can go off the 60 in the day, because like right now we've got earnings, so we can go on things that are going much faster, right? Because the more volatility, the less the longer term time frames matter. But I have people that will only trade this longer term stuff, because and make sure that everything's lining up. So if we take a look at a few here, let's see, like Amazon. Let's see what we got here in Amazon. So Amazon, what do we got here in Amazon? Monthly, that's green. And here, there'll be different combinations. Now, the importance of the outside bar, remember, is that it's a battleground. They took out both sides. And so if you can get outside of that, right, this is a range expansion, and then you get a range expansion of the expansion. Here, there's the consolidation. Expansion, consolidation, go, and it's all green. And then it's 1, 2, 2, 2 monthly. There's no reason to sell here, right? Weekly, this is a 3, right? Outside battleground that they tried to take it out. And when you get back in a 3, you want to know that, because this is the only true way to gauge magnitude. Because we know outside bars exist, we know that price action exists, right? So here, once you get back in, now we're looking for the next two to take us into the highs, which we just did. Here's your daily. Ready? 2 up, 2 down, 2 down, 2, 1. Here you go. Inside 2, 2, 3, right? And the 3, 2 of the range expansion that takes you into the highs. So it's not that hard. If you can count to 1, 2, 3 and stuff like that, you can continue to look for stuff, because you'll see that because outside bars exist, that we can, when I say we can gauge the magnitude, if you go to the 60, once you get back into these things, this is why some people think algorithms are picking them off, because the range starts to expand. Let me get this taken out. And so where do people put their stops? On well-known pivots, right? And so here you can see this higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. Now we get into here, and there you go, the 3, 1, gone, right? Up into here. Then you got your 3 that takes you into the new highs and stuff like that. So it's not that hard to understand, right? It's the triangles are the stuff that gets you, and then we want to look for also the combinations, and you'll see stuff like Domino's Pizza. And Domino's Pizza on the daily, right? Here's a continuation, right? The 2, 2, right? So the 2, 2, and then 2 back into full time frame continuity. What that means is you got corrective activity. When you have a 2 up, a 2 down, and then you go 2 back up into full time frame continuity, oh yeah. You think that might work? I do. Everybody turned back into, here's your corrective activity. And at this point, all the buyers that we know are taking the offer, right? And that's just today taking out 279.51, all right? And so there you go. There's 286. Yeah, we'll take the $6-7 today. And when we combine this, can it keep going? Maybe. Look at the monthly. 1, and it's going 1, 2 above 284.88, right? So at that point, what we're looking to do, and we do this on very shorter time frames, longer time frames, once you understand this, we want to add to our position as much as we can once we have that, because we know everybody's taking the offer. Where some people will say, oh, we got to trim and trail and take some off here. No, you don't. You're just letting guys out. We want to remove liquidity if it's going our way. Or you've heard guys say, I say it's going from here to there, but when it gets there, they're like, I'm selling my last piece. If they really knew it was going up there, I want to be as long as I've ever been when it's going to the highs, where I just told everybody it's going. And when people say I got out too early, that's because they don't know how to gauge magnitude, right? We know that ranges get taken out and expand, right? So in this case, you got the 2, 2 daily. I think you got a little bit more help here. The weekly, 3, 2, right? The range expansion of the range expansion here on the weekly. So you go along 279.87. And what do you know here? 278.27, you're using all these to trigger the daily, the weekly, and the monthly all trigger. And then at that point, we can break it down into even shorter time frames. You want some more? Yeah, I'd like to buy some more. When am I going to buy that? Let's take a look. Ooh, here's a good one. Here you go. 3, 2 to open the day. Boom, you can get that. Goes 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 reversal back up, and see you later. Right? Stuff like that. So there's more to it, right? But I want to show you also, I get this question all the time. And does it work in other things? How about some Bitcoin for you right now? Right now. 1, 2, 2 reversal on the 1 hour. And I know it's a little hard to say, but if you go to the weekly, it's a little hard to see, but I'm just, people, price action is uniform. It doesn't matter what it is, right? That's the beauty of it. So here you'll see the Bitcoin going up in the week, and then this red bar that takes it out down here. I know it's a little tough to see, but it took out that red bar and went weekly 2, 2 down below 7,338, right? Right now, in 2 weeks, you just made $1,000 if you could short that thing, right? You see that? It's that simple, right? Once you understand this stuff. And then when we could use this not only on these monthly, weekly, dailies and stuff like that, we can take it even further out, right? And what that means is, because let's say that the monthly signal's in force, We've got all month to wait for it to go weekly, daily 60 and kick back in, kick back in, kick back in, right? Because it should go. Like when we go in here, some people are like, oh, I need time to work out. And like, no, it doesn't. Everybody's taking the offer. Why is this thing not going up, right? If it doesn't go up, we got an unknown participant, just get out, because when it works, it really works, right? And so if we can go back to like longer term stuff, like Netflix, did we know about this? We sure did. Last year, the consolidation 1-2. I have people still long from this thing, right? And you had Tesla last year, the 1-2-2 reversal on the year. And then when you combine that, the Tesla monthly, right? Here's an inside month for more, right? And then finally it goes 2 in the month, just get out, all right? And then we had another 2 month here. So it works on multiple and really long time frames, and we use that all the time. So what I do, one of the things I do, and I do a lot for people, I do a lot of work on this, is that I make a macro video. Because when you know all this stuff, you could be trading all day. You could trade everything. We always say more hands, more eyeballs, more keyboards, because we're so busy during the day because it's constantly kicking into different things. Like if we can stay on the Tesla, and Tesla here, Tesla gave you when it exploded here, it goes 1-2 on the month, inside up, above 364.78. On the daily, here's your going 3, right? And once you go 3, once you take that opening back and go full throttle upside, oh yeah, you're in. Boom, right? Which also caused the 3-2 week range expansion here above 355, right? So there's a lot you can do just watching all that longer term stuff. And so for this year, when I made the macro videos, this is the kind of stuff that we're pulling out of here. Sarepta, the 3-1 year, outside inside year. I have people in from 57, 58. It's at 121. Just today with the purses coming out, not as explosive, but 3-2. We looked at cores and the earnings came out today. 64.30, trading 70. ARWR. These are all things that I've put in the video, and I update this every month because we look at quarters. ARWR. This is a 1-2 month year above 454, trading 16. Right, and so this is when you see people trying to say swing trades and they're using daily charts, they're not looking out far enough, not nearly at all. So you want to be able to take all this longer term stuff, and then we can shrink it down. All right, so I can't teach it all to you today, right? But I want to show you just how easy that is to understand, right? That's all you need to know. This combinations of 1, 2, and 3, consolidation, reversing, back into time frame continuity, because that's all there is, that's all there ever will be. It's impossible for price action to not do this. It has to do one of those things, so it can't change. So when people say trading's changed, it hasn't. And once you see things this way and get rid of everything else, it's a blast. We laugh all day long because we'll say triangle out, ready, 2-2, bam, kicking back in. We can cause it to happen. So we're laughing and have a good time. It's fun. And you're just much more relaxed by doing it because we know what's happening, as opposed to having to doing all this analysis of stuff that's not real. We know what's for reals, man. This is for reals. And this is going to put these guys underwater, and this is going to reverse on these guys. And so let's go back to this, to the SPY as for one last great analogy. So SPY, when people say that the 200-day moving average is it's bullish over that, you understand that every major market crash began over the 200-day, every one, right? So you can't tell me that. Now you can just see how clean this looks to you. 2-2 reversal right here, puke 2, and that caused the monthly to go 2-2 and get pounded, right? Came back, but it's going to come back on the daily, because you're going to know that, what it would look like if it's going to. Here, the 2 down, the 2 up, right? So you can, and the good thing about volatility, the 2 up, It's like you can take that and you have enough room to know that on the shorter term, if it takes this stuff out, you're gone. But then when it goes 2 back down, the repuke, then the 2 back up, and here's your inside bar 1, 2. And you'll see the triangles that most people will be drawing a bunch of other stuff, but you're going to see these broadening formations because not every broadening formation is going to be an outside bar. And that goes back to how software presents things to you, right? When you can train your mind to move the time frames around without physically being able to do it because we know they exist, then you see different things. So you can see how this is a higher high here, lower low, higher high, 3, 2, 2, 2 down, 2 reversal, back to a higher high, because this is how price discovery works. Higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low, and then lo and behold, all the way back up. And there's your greater broadening formation series, right? But like if you look at the weekly here, you realize that right now, to see these 2 bars, if you had a 2-week chart that updated there, all of this stuff would be inside of there. And what's important to understand, when people say I'm getting chopped up, yeah, it's because you're probably a 1 on a longer term time frame. We know that, right? Nothing surprises us, right? Because it's all figured out. So this is a little rudimentary understanding of it, but it's so fun, and I really want to eradicate this technical analysis because this is really the poison that's killing people. And it's so easy and it's so clean, right? It's a matter of getting to it all, right? Like I said, more hands, more eyeballs, more keyboards when things are moving. And I help put down a universe for you once I know who you are, right? And then you can branch out forever. Yeah, you can start on certain things and you can branch out forever because it works on everything. It's a matter of whether you can get it to it all. So as a matter of fact, it's so clean that when we say more hands, more eyeballs, more keyboards, now we've got a new saying. I have some of my people teaching their kids to do this. One of my guys his son is putting himself through Ohio State, his freshman, and his little sister's 15. She's buy a car. And just this week, another one of our subscribers and a personal friend got his 12-year-old daughter doing it, right? And you can't tell me that these guys can train their daughters and I can't train you, right? Because it's that clean. It's beautiful, right? And when you see it, and when you see things this way, you have a good time, you're relaxed, right, at the end of the day, because you have such confidence. We know exactly what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. And then you'll watch CNBC and you'll laugh hysterically and you'll be like, I can't believe I listened to that stuff for so long. And because charts become hilarious. Because we just watch them get taken out, and we just do that and be like, you ready? Here they go, 3, 2, bam. So it's just like today, when we watch the gap list, I tweet that out every morning. And so just this morning, I'm like, Sina, see ya, 3, 2. Most people would never short something down here. Oh yeah, we will. Bam. Then there's other shorter, easier ways to get in on this, right? Right? Like I said, what's going 3, all this stuff. But right here, I mean, no stress on the 60, 77.21, never makes another high. You can go at 74.88, no big deal there. You can look at stuff like Mylan. I think the gap in reverse on here. Look at this, Mylan, 2 down, 2 up in 1, 2 for the measured move, still in, right? So you got your buy here, and this is a 60-minute chart, right? This is how we can slow down time. It's not like you have to be in here on the 30-second chart. This is an hourly chart. Boom. Takes that out at 36.65. Takes out the inside bar for another batch, 37.65. Goes out at 39.23. Piece of cake, right? So basically, what I'm showing you is that I firmly believe eventually no trading will be done without recognizing this. It's just too efficient, right? Because of all the things I've shown you that just drive people nuts, I'm not going to stop doing this and telling people and showing people, because no matter, even if the whole world knows it, it still has to work. That's the real beauty of it. It's not my secret proprietary setup BS. You're going to tell me there's something I haven't seen? It lines up with 1, 2, 3 because it has to. It can't not, right? So when somebody says that, no, it has to do one of these. And that, one of the big mistakes people do is they don't use multiple time frames, right? That's the problem. They're looking for what they've been told to look for. So you say, oh, it's a head and shoulders. I'm like, no, I don't see it. I'm like, but on the daily chart, I'm on the 1 minute, I don't see it. On the daily chart, but on the monthly chart, I don't see it. But on the daily chart, because they've been programmed to do that, right? Because of the cognitive bias, right? We're gonna eliminate that and say this group is doing this, this group is doing this, group is doing this. This is going to change them, right? So something like car today on the gap down, we want to know when things change. So up in here, everybody said it, because when people look at charts, it's like, it's so funny. It's like, they're like, everybody says that if looked at this yesterday would say, that chart looks good, I'd buy it on a pullback. I'm like, would you? You know why they say it? You know why it looks good? Because it's near the highs. Like anything that near the highs looks good. It's also very vulnerable to the puke. So when this thing opened here at 36, you look at the month, and the month opening was 34.74. So we're looking to go take that out if we can, right? Because the weekly opening here, 36.15, right? Remember that daily opening. 36 changes the week, going after to change the month. Get yourself an inside 115 and bam. And the beautiful thing about something like this is how it works. Is anybody that bottom picked in here, right? You know how the guys have to put their stops somewhere? Guess where the stops go? Here, here, and here. I'm going to wipe them out in one spot because you got real sellers in there, because at this point, you're now taking that monthly back red too. Full time frame continuity, the downside with the 1-2. You can see this in everything. Like I said, this is just opening. Once you even have a rudimentary understanding of this and just spend one day with me, you're going to see this in everything. And one of the things that we like to joke about is once you know this stuff, you have to be our friends, because you can't talk to anybody anymore, because all we do is talk like this. And it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we're a big group, and we're not like to have fun. So, all right, Michael, I think that's going to do it. I don't know if you're going to have some questions or things you want to say, but for the most part, I think that should do it for now. Michael, you there?
Yep, I'm here. Okay, everybody out there, can you see my screen? Can you type in 1? If you could see my screen, type in 1 in the questions box. All right, cool. Serge put in 7, but that's okay. Okay, so Rob covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time. And I'm sure you can understand, like, he can't teach you a whole trading system in a webinar. I mean, everybody gets that, right? So we want to talk to you about how you can learn the entire Quantage system, all the terminology, all the pattern setups, everything, entries, exits, all that stuff. You can learn Rob's entire system of doing things. And we want you to pay very close attention, because there's a ton of stuff, and it does not cost a lot of money. Again, a ton of stuff that does not cost a lot. First thing is, you can trade live with Rob in the Quantage room, which is a $295 a month value. That's basically signals all day long from Rob and other people in the room. People in the room are trading all kinds of things: stocks, options, ETFs, cryptos. Some people are trading futures, commodities, everything. People are trading everything in there, using this big Quantage basically as their price action system. So it's basically a room where everybody's on the same page, everybody's friendly, everybody's cool. This is just a quick look at what it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty active. People are talking all day. People are sharing ideas, sharing signals. And then there's live weekly coaching sessions. We think coaching is probably one of the single most underrated things that traders need that they don't have. A lot of people they're learning concepts, they're learning tips and tricks and strategies, but they're flying blind. They don't have any help reinforcing things. And so Rob hosts a coaching session once a week. There's one tomorrow, every Thursday at 5. So if you have any questions about how things work, how to implement concepts, Rob can answer you directly. So this isn't one of those things where you take a course and then you're thrown to the wolves. Another thing, weekly and daily videos and spreadsheets. So you're going to know what to look for before your day starts. Keeps you a step ahead of the crowd. and you get Rob's like personal list of signals. Even more stuff. So this is the big thing. The times that Sharon, the timers are Eastern time. So this is kind of like the big enchilada here. This is what people really get excited about. We're going to give you the entire home study training program, which is a $795 value. It's a 12 video course. You're going to master actionable signals, time frame continuity, broadening formation. It's 16 hours of video training. Again, not 1 hour, not 6 hours, 16 hours, and it's all included. So this is just a quick screenshot from one of the screens, just so you know it's real. Again, $795 value, 16 hours. Another thing we always forget to talk about is that basically Rob has created what we think is the Netflix of trading. There's over 300 videos in the portal. It's going to be over 400 pretty soon. So if you really want to binge watch Rob Smith, you could go for like the next 10 years. Again, Netflix of trading. So everything Rob does, not the room videos, but all the other videos, aftermarket, all that stuff, it's put in the portal. And all the coaching sessions are recording in case you can't make it. And here's a special bonus. If you buy tonight, only if you buy tonight, this is why you should buy tonight. Free ticket to the T3 Live Active Traders Summit, where Rob is presenting live. This is a real in-person trading conference with other human beings in the same room. It's not online. October 13th, New York City. It's a $495 value. Absolutely free. Only if you buy tonight. All the other bonuses are included if you buy tomorrow. You get this if you buy tonight. And before, Rob talked about how there are actually kids trading this strategy. This is a message we got on August 6th. Hey, Rob, opened my 12-year-old her first trading account, went live Thursday. She made $1,300 her first day last week. She's so excited, I had to slow her down to start this week. Again, a 12-year-old that made $1,300. So just a quick question. If all you got was the 16-hour course, like, wouldn't that be worth $295? Like, what do you guys think? Tell me yes or no. You can say no. Be honest. Okay, we got yes, yes, yes. We always get a no. And again, if a 12-year-old can make $1,300, like, what can you do? Like what are your goals? How much money do you want to make? So let's just wrap it up quickly, just so everybody knows what we're talking about. Quant room, $295 value, weekly coaching sessions, the videos plus the spreadsheet, the home study program, 16 hours of video training. That's worth $795. The entire Quant video library, which is 300 videos and growing. And the Active Trader Summit ticket, which is worth $495. You only get that if you buy tonight. Regular price is $295. Anybody want to guess our price tonight? Type a number in. Don't be afraid. $195. Dennis, you failed. Serge, $149. Nope. Felipe is right. Just $147.50. And if you buy tonight, this is the best reason to buy tonight, is you get the free Active Trader Summit ticket. You can go to t3live.com/Rob. I am going to beam the link out to you guys just to make sure everybody has it in case people don't, in case you really don't feel like typing. I'm going to pop the link out to you guys. t3live.com/Rob. Okay, and again, if you sign up today, only if you sign up today, you get a free Active Trader Summit ticket, $495 value on the house. You have to sign up by midnight tonight to get this extra bonus. Yes, this is per month. Okay, guys, everybody's asking like the same questions. I'm going to answer them just there. We're going to do all the questions right now. Is there a deadline? Yes, Friday. Save 50% off by Friday, and we suggest you sign up now so you can get the free ticket and the coaching session tomorrow. Do you need a discount code? No. Just go to t3live.com/Rob. t3live.com/Rob. So everybody's asking what happens after the first month. It renews at $295 per month. And it's pretty simple. If Rob doesn't make you $295 in the first month, just cancel. There's no contracts, no obligations, and there's no hassles. If Rob can't make you $295, then, no big deal. Just cancel. And again, why is it just $147.50? It's because this is the way people want to buy. Everybody wants to take the course, try out the room, and see if it works for them. So it's a low risk deal for you. It's a low risk deal for us. We're going to bet that you want to stick around the next month, but obviously you don't have to. There's no obligation. And just so you can get an idea of what people are saying, rules-based strategy makes trading decisions way easier than any other technical analysis. Made back the fee in one trade. Guys, again, t3live.com/Rob. Rob consistently calls out favorable positions to bring to our attention, not just at the time of the trade, but during the weekend. My first 2 weeks, I was 100% winners on my day trades. Terrific teacher, very helpful and understanding, great person, truly cares about the success of his students. No better person in the industry. When I first joined his room, I shorted VRX. He guided me where to add to my position, where to find an exit. Amazing coaching program. Rob made us feel very comfortable. Up a little over 30%, just 31% just this week. Paid for itself after my first day of live trading. So guys, again, t3live.com/Rob. I'm going to go back to the slide with the offer. We're going to get the Q&A started in just 1 second. Okay, so Sam is asking, is this study program the same as the Pristine method? No, this is completely different. This is not technical analysis. This is a whole different way of looking at trading and price action. So this is completely different. It's going to give you a whole nother set of skills. And I'm going to, yes, Buck is asking. All right, so we're getting about 20 questions. Does it work on, Rob, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, so Rob, the big question, this is always the big question. Does this work on Forex, futures, options, commodities?
Anything that
cryptos?
trades, all price action. This is how price action has to work, right? It's not possible for anything to trade to not have a 1, 2, or 3 and have time frame continuity. It either is in time frame conflict, but it's impossible for anything that trades to not line up with what I just told you. And if you could disprove it, that'd be great, but you can't. Don't do that. And another reason I saw that we had up there, I just want to make one mention too, and I think we had a slide up there that were sometimes people are like, well, Rob, why are you giving all this and why are you working so hard and just it's only $147.50? Well, I'm telling you this is because I'm trying to revolutionize this industry, and the more of you that I can show this to, the faster we're going to get this done, because we've got to eliminate all this losing that people are doing, right? And so I work as hard as any person you've ever met to make sure that you're gonna understand this, right? And that's why that Thursday night coaching session is so important. But I really want this to get out there, and your success is my success. So I look forward to seeing a bunch of everybody. So just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Yes, everybody keeps asking, does this get you the home study program? Yes. That's the whole point. That is what people are most excited about, is that they spend just $147.50, not a lot of money, and it gives them a $795 value course. Now, and basically the way it works is you keep the course as long as you're a member. And a month is plenty of time to figure out to take the entire course, figure out whether it's right for you. That's why we make it so inexpensive. Give you a shot, see how you like it, and then you can make a final decision. Like the regular price is. So let me just backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna do a little scribbling on my screen. regular price for an annual is $19.95. Like, everybody gets that? This deal gets you in for just $147.50, and then you see if it's right for you. This is the best thing. This is giving you a whole trading system, rules, support, everything you need, no matter what you're trading. Guys, again, t3live.com/Rob. Arthur's asking, is the 16 hours in different modules? Yes, it's all different modules. It's not 16 hours. It's not a 16-hour video. And guys, yes, it gives you the course, everything. And you keep the course as long as you are a member. So if you want to go back a year from now, you can always go back. All right, I'm seeing what other questions we have here. Okay, so we were getting some questions on time frames, Rob. So I don't know if this is quite the right way to ask this question, but basically, what time frames are you using for most of the trades that come up?
We're using all of them. So basically, once we know we have full time frame continuity, we can be down to a 1 minute. Now, everybody's not going to be that lightning fast, right? Nor do they want to be, but some people do. So once we have the combination, right, and we have that time frame continuity that we're looking for, and we have one of the 3 reversals going on, you can go right after whatever that time frame is that is triggering the reversal or the continuation, the 1, 2. But we're watching it all. So basically, what I said, like I said, and we also would also have for you is I also have codes for Thinkorswim or TC2000, so you can scan along with me, right? But the time frames, like I said, everybody's different, and so when I get to know people, I get to know their tendencies, and you'll hear me call directly to certain people because I know what they do, right? And that's why it's a good interactive room once I know who you are. Some people just pick it up like that and they're good to go, right? Other people will trade. Sometimes they'll just sit on the gap list and they're going to sit back on 30s and 60 minutes and just wait for that and do that, right? So what I basically can do, and like we talk about it on Thursday nights, is I basically customize it for you depending on your risk profile and all the things that you want to do. But you can go nuts on this thing. I mean, you can go all day, on 1 minute and 3 minutes and 5 minutes, because we know what's happening, right? Boom, there it is. Here's all the stocks with full time frame continuity. Here's the one that just has the 2-2, go 2, bam, right? So you can essentially go as nuts as you want. And that's what I was saying during the webinar. You slow it down and have you focus on a certain group, right? It may just be the gaps. It may be the stocks in the Dow Jones or what have you, or the FANG stocks. And then once you understand the concepts and what you're seeing, it's repetitive and it's uniform in everything, right? So then you can branch out as much as you want. And the good thing is, you can catch the big moves and stuff that normally scare the crap out of people. I wouldn't touch that thing. And I'm like, yeah, now you will. Now you trade the Googles and the Amazons and all that because we know what's happening, right? If we're wrong, we just get out, right? You don't sit there and take a beating, you just get out. But when we're right, we're real right, right? The earlier you can catch full time frame continuity, if you got real buyers in there, oh yeah. Because I'm not a chest bumper like on Twitter, like, oh, we're making all this money and we're the best. I don't say that stuff. I just post a bunch of stuff on Twitter and let people figure it out for themselves, right? Because that's just not the type of person I am. What I will honestly tell you, I've never seen anything close to what we do. And I read a lot of Twitter and I see what people say and what they're doing. It's not even close to what we put up my good guys put up in a single day.
Okay, Rob. So this is a really important question because something that always comes up, and a couple of people are asking already, is like the number of signals people can get. Because I think a lot of people think of trading systems as, oh, I'm going to get 2 signals a day or 4 signals a day. Basically, is there any way to kind of quantify that? Like, how many opportunities?
Millions. That's why we have to slow it down and put you into certain groups. It happens so often because this is how price action works. This is the genetic code of price action. So there's a limited and unlimited. What you will learn is how to gauge the magnitude, right? And that's where most people don't know what to do, right? They just look for a horizontal line and say if it's above there, it's a breakout trade, and I hope it goes, right? But when you learn to understand the three bar, and then the combination of all the stuff that's going on, then you learn to gauge the magnitude. So there's a myriad of signals all day, because any two is basically a signal, and that happens all the time. It's a matter of, is it lined up as a reversal? Is it lined up with time frame continuity? So we have a list of all the stocks that are doing that, and I'm tracking it. I have 16 27-inch monitors tracking it all, and so it's all day. Like when people say it's slow, and we're just laughing, we're like, yeah, really? Because even if it slows down, it's forming the ones, and I can see that for you, and then we can pull back. So what we do is, uh, like I said, I streamline it to what you can handle, right? And then once you understand it, because price action is uniform, you can do it in anything, right? You just have to understand what you're looking at and have it at the proper speed that you can start off with, right? And you get that understanding, and because it plays out so often, it makes it easier to teach you, as opposed to that could be setting up for head and shoulders in a week or two. No, I can show you this a billion times a day. And once you see how the triangles work, and because most people have never heard of a broadening formation ever, right? And this is how price action works. And once you see me drawing them and gauging the magnitude for you, right, you won't see anything else. You'll see these things in your sleep, right? And you'll be like, I can't believe that I didn't know this, or that nobody else has told us about this. But that's part of that cognitive bias problem that technical analysis is. This is how things work.
Okay, let me see. Here's all right. So we're still getting more questions about like options and things.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob, so how are options traders using
Options,
quantitative
yeah,
concept?
I have some people that only trade options. And for options, depending on, the decay and which ones you're trading, yeah, you're going to want to know the triangles so you get that magnitude, obviously, because there's decay and there's depending on the spreads and stuff like that. But we look forward to Fridays, because when you can gauge magnitude and you're going through strikes on Friday on expiration, not only can we, and even Wednesday for the S&P and stuff like that, um, we call it cheapo options day Friday, right? Because it's all cheap, and you can get those high percentage moves going through there. Oh yeah, definitely. Also, there's something, it might sound a little complex for some people, but when we have these signals that are going through strikes, right? We also create something called synthetics, right? And what that means is that if you have if because the triangles will grow both ways. So let's say that you have the option that goes into the money, right above it on a Friday, and goes blasting through it. You can sell the stock against it if that triangle kicks back down. You've already locked in your profit, and then it whacks back through the strike. So that's called a synthetic put, but that might be a little advanced for some people, but that's fine. It works on everything. So yeah, options, we use that to juice the the returns, if you will. It's just sometimes they're too illiquid. So it's whatever everybody's comfortable with.
Okay, so Didi has a good question. Is the VTF segmented based on the type of market you're trading, i.e., equity room, commodities room? No, Didi. Everybody's in the same room, and it's busy, but people still find it very easy to communicate. And
Right. Another thing that you will do is I will direct you to the people that are doing what you are doing. Right. I will tell you, here's are the people that are doing what you're doing. When they post, you pay attention to them. These are the people that do that. Right. Because when we're busy, it's like, unlike other chat rooms, is this a double bottom thing? Is this thing when the market's busy? What did I do? The chat goes dead because we know what to do, right? They're just hitting keys. Go, go, go. Here's this one, because all I'm doing is sitting here calling them out and reminding them from the video last night. Here, here, here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. These. Ready? Here we go. Here's the next setup for the 15 minutes. Here's the 30s. Here's the 60s. This one's taking that out. Now you can look for that. It goes dead silent because, like I said, we can get so busy with more hands, more eyeballs, more keyboards. We can't get to it all, right? And that as a group, what is great is that we all think exactly alike, right? When other people our chat room's for like-minded traders, our chat room is for exactly like-minded traders. We all think the same. We all speak the same language. We all know how it works, right? That's a huge advantage compared to all the other gibberish trying to put their stew pot together of eye of newt and head and shoulders and support, trying to figure that out. We all speak exactly the same. That's the beauty of it. One of the beauties of it.
Yeah. So a lot of people are asking about like things like the number of trades and stuff. And the beauty of the system is that you make it work for you. Like there are some people that are comfortable making trades every minute. Some people just do swing trades. Maybe they'll make a few trades a week. Like the whole point is of the system is to clarify price action, and then you put it to work for you. Like it's not like there's like an ironclad rule. There's 3 trades a day or there's 20 trades per day. You adapt it to your time frames. You adapt it to your level of activity. And somebody saying I have a hard time doing day trading. Yes, you can trade on longer time frames. You don't have to box yourself in. This isn't a system where you have to modify everything. It's you change the way you look at things, then you could day trade, you could swing trade, you could trade any instrument you want. And this is a good thing if you're thinking about trying something else like Forex or futures or whatever. At the very least, you'll have a universal system for price action, and you can apply that to whatever you're trading. Okay, so we're getting a couple questions about swing trading. So, I mean, like people think usually with trading rooms, they think about day trading, but like, I guess, how are people using Quant Edge for swing trading?
Because of the outside bars exist. Once I show you the triangles, that's how you gauge magnitude, right? And so long as that time frame continuity stays your way, you can stay in because we know how to gauge it. As a matter of fact, one of the problems you're going to have anywhere else, they don't know how to do that, right? They'll say if it stays over the moving average, I'm like, that has nothing to do with it, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with it, right? We know that outside bars exist. We also know that there's time frames you can't see if the software was to update in the middle of the day as opposed to the end of the beginning of the day. We know how to train our mind to see different things like that because we know range expansions exist. Once you see these triangles, if you've never seen a series of broadening formations, if you have never seen that in price action, you're trading absolutely blind, right? And once I show this to you, you will not see anything else. Promise you, you will never see the market the same. We even joke around too. It's like because I'm like when something starts kicking back through the triangle, and I'm like, gee, I wonder where it's going. And all the chat goes, we know where it's going. Most people can't do that, right? Because range expansions exist. Once you start ripping through, like when people say that pivots are support and resistance, no, they're fuel to the fire. You look for them to set up and get taken out, all of the 2-2 reversal. So when you come ripping back through ranges, like on the downside in February, anybody trying to pick a pivot, they're just getting obliterated, all right? Because everybody's hitting the bid on them, and we know that's going to occur, right? That turns long people into sellers when everybody's already hitting the bid, right? That's why range expansions happen, right? And I can show you this in a very short amount of time, right? In one day, you'll see it all. You won't pick up on how to trade it right away. Some people do because it just makes sense. It just makes total sense. But once you train your mind to see it this way, as opposed to all the other things you've been told, your life changes. Your whole trading life changes. You're like, oh my God, how did nobody ever see this before? And part of it in your own trading might be, we call when the triangles are too tight, that the magnitude's too tight, right? The triangle builders, the guys getting stopped out. And this might have happened to you before. You're starting trading and you don't want to lose a lot of money, so you use a tight stop, right? Boom, you get stopped out. And you're like, man, my stop's too tight, right? So you move it down a little bit. Next time it comes back up through what you think is your level, boom, it stops you out in almost the same amount of time, right? A little bit further. And you're like, oh, it's all goes, whatever it is. No stop this time. Pukes on you, you blow it out. And then you blow it out and it goes ripping all the way back to where you thought it was going in the first place. And you're like, oh man, I should have just stayed in. But now you lost about a bunch of money and you got to go back to that tight stop and you build the new triangle, right? That's what happens to people, right? We know that happens. We can watch it happen, right?
Okay, great. Okay, so a few people who just bought, we're getting a bunch of people in. They're asking about the Active Trader Summit ticket. So when you buy today, we're going to process it tomorrow. For technical reasons, we need to manually process the ticket. So guys, you sign up today. $495 value on the house. This is a live event in New York City, October 13th. You get this extra bonus only if you sign up tonight. So that is the best reason in the world to get in. Is you get this free. You can meet Rob in person. You can harass him. You can get tips from him live. So guys, again, I'm going to shoot you guys the link right now. It's t3live.com/Rob. You could save 50%. 50%. It includes a $795 course. Michael, yes, the $147.50 deal is good until Friday tonight, but we recommend you get in today so you can get your free Active Trader Summit ticket. It's a $495 ticket. It's an all-day live education event. So again, guys, get in tonight. Get the best possible deal, $147.50. All right, Harry Thorne asks, he said, the annual fee is $19.95. How is that if the monthly rate is $2.95? Well, Harry, we offer a discount if you buy the annual. That's why it's not $2.95 times 12. We give you a discount if you buy an annual all at once. That's why. That's pretty much it. But again, this is just $147.50. You don't need to make a $2,000 commitment. You'll have access to Didi. You'll have access to Rob's room tomorrow. Again,
Yeah,
best
and
deal in town.
I'll be doing the coaching session tomorrow, right? And I stay on as long as it takes, usually hour and a half, is recorded. And you see what some people are charging out there to sit next to them and do all this kind of stuff. They're out of their minds, right? That's what I'm trying to show you, something so important. That's why it's at this price. I really want you to come, because once you see this, right, you don't have to listen to anybody, including me, right? Anything else you hear is just going to be total noise, right? It's ridiculous what's out there and what people believe on how price action works, right? And I want people to know this. I took a week off last week. That's the first week I've taken off in a year, right? I stay on the headset. I do whatever it takes, because this business needs to change, right? People who want to learn need to learn what's true. And that's what I'm showing you. And I can show you in very short order.
Okay. We're getting a whole bunch of people in, guys. Yeah, so when will we have access to Rob's room? Tomorrow again. And there is coaching tomorrow. So that's another good reason. Aside from the $495 ticket, you sign up today, you can get in coaching tomorrow, start interacting, ask questions. And again, as we said before, coaching is hugely underrated, because you could take education, you could join rooms, but it's difficult to know if you're doing everything right unless you're getting coaching. And
To this day, some of my best people still come, even though they don't have to. They still come just in case there's something they can pick up on, or how they can help other people. That's the type of community we have. They still come. If we're meeting, people still come.
Yes, and Marianne says, I just signed up. Marianne, thank you very much. Yes, the coaching is recorded. And again, remember we talked about the Quant video library? We keep like all the coaching sessions. Right now, there's over 300 videos in there. So if you ever want to go back, you want to learn more stuff, just see what people were doing a year ago, you can go in and bring up the videos right away. So it's like hundreds of hours.
You can also go back to any major market move and see what we said, right? That's when I first came to T3. I told them I want everything I've ever said to be documented, right? Because of this is how price action has to work. We're always on the right side of the big moves, the Brexit, all that kind of stuff, and we know exactly where to be and why, right? And it's just that efficient. I'm just so anybody who signed up already, thank you. I'm really looking forward to working with you, because it's really enjoyable when people come and I get to meet them in person. I get to see their reaction, and that's how I can work as hard as I do. Just I know that I'm impacting so many people's lives, and I want to continue to do that as best I can.
Okay, Max asks, here's a funny question. I think that'll make Rob laugh. Rob, how many stocks do you follow?
Everything. So it's a matter of liquidity, really. So My scan is all US stocks, but I will scan by volume, right? So at any given day, it could be the entire universe, but it's really about being able to gauge that magnitude and what shows up on the scans by volume.
All right, so basically all of them.
But yeah, everything, and futures and anything that moves, because we don't trade stocks, we trade setups. The thing is, the great thing about equities and future and equities options, we have so much evidence because it's not only the equity itself. We've got is it in the S&P, is it in the Qs, is it an ETF, and we can line all those things up together because if we have the signal going in the S&P and the Qs and the diamonds and Apple, it's like that reinforces, gives us more information on what's going on, right? So it's not just the thing that we're trading itself, using the equities, it's all the relationships that we have, all the ETFs, whose strength and weakness. So when I say that time frame continuity to the upside, that everybody's taking the offer, when you have that in the market and an ETF, and you have downside in the stock, you have really aggressive sellers, right? There has to be aggressive sellers in there because everything else is going up. That's really key to know. Get in there and join the party, right? So stuff like that. So that's why I prefer equities, just because we have more information by sector, subsector, and down to the stock.
Okay, Rob, here's another good one. What are you doing with 16 27-inch monitors?
I'm constantly monitoring the new signals and what we know to be true. So with all of this, I'm monitoring the stocks off the gap list, all the major stocks and sectors, so I can see it as soon as possible. I'm also scanning, but it's easier than changing layouts, right? I can see what's going on in the market. I can see if something's different. I can see if before news hits, I've got scans on stuff like highs and lows, because once news hits, we don't care what the news is. We just want to know that there is something. We just want to find the things that are moving. I'm constantly looking for more things that are moving, because my original research was based on going through the percentage gain list, the percentage loss list, the dollar gain list, and the dollar loss list. What is the commonality of the things that really move big, right? Oftentimes it was just gaps. There's nothing you can do about that if it gaps and sits. But the commonality was time frame continuity. So I'm constantly looking if you're going to be up 20 bucks, it's got to be up 10 bucks first, right? So as soon as I'm looking at who's up the most, who's down the most, who's up the most, who's down the most, constantly to see what's on the move, as well as looking to see if there is any divergence within the sectors, the stocks within the sectors, or how they're setting up together. Because there's something called a simultaneous break, which I'll teach you too. And that's where all the signals form and go at the same time. You might have experienced that and not known it. Oftentimes you will see chat rooms going, what's the news? When something hits, I'm like, simultaneous break. All these things, see all these things, everything's going 1, 2, downside. That's what's happening. And it's triggering these guys. There's no reason except for that, right? And people are trying to look for news and there isn't any, but we know how that occurs.
Okay, Rob, are you in Chicago or NYC?
I'm in Chicago, and you're welcome to come visit me. I've had a lot of people this year from all over come and sit on the desk here and trade behind me, and it does help for people to organize their own workstation. Obviously, you're not going to have all this, and you don't need it, right? But it does help to see what I go through. So you're welcome to come visit me anytime you want. Because one of the advantages we have is not only that the system itself, and not only is it that we both think alike, that we dominate other people because I'm doing a lot of the analysis for you. We're a team, right? So if anybody else is trying to do analysis and execute it at the same time, we're going to murder them, especially if they're using false analysis. That's what we're doing, is taking people to the cleaners, right? We're cold cocking these guys that don't know what they're doing, and we're a team, right? I'm the world's greatest assistant once you understand this stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's an important point that people need to understand, is that the room is full of cool people and everybody's sharing information. So it's like you're not just getting like Rob's stuff, you're getting everybody's. And it just multiplies because everybody's learning together. Everybody's sharing signals. So you might start doing things you've never done before. Okay, so Rob, what we should talk a little bit about platforms. People want to know what platform you use, and is there any specific any kind of systems or software that people need, or can they use any charting software?
You can use any charting software. We prefer some that has the 60-minute updating on the bottom of the hour. But once again, once you can train your mind and you listen to what I'm doing, that's not totally necessary. But certainly going to need some charting software. And as far as scans, if you want to scan yourself, I use TC2000. Some people use TC2000 for the charting itself. It can't do 60 at the bottom, but it's all a matter of preference too. And as far as trading, I'm on Lightspeed. My software is NeoVest. That's a little pricey, but you don't need that. But as you can see, my charts are pretty clear. That's why I go with that. So it's really a matter of preference and what works for you. And like I said, when you come in and meet people, they will say, I use this because of that, and I use this because of that. And yeah, and even in New York, a lot of people will be there. So you get to meet people in person. That's always good. Go out to dinner and have a good time wherever you're, depending on where you live. You can be friends with them too. Like there's people all over the country and the world doing this now. So like I said, I can direct you to the geography where you are of friends, and I can on the VTF of people that do what you do, right? Because people are very helpful. And you say, how did you get in on that? Look, I took the 225 minute off to this, right? And I'm like, okay, you pull it up and you'll see it. And because this repeats so often, it's going to become second nature. You're just going to be like, there's the 2-2 reversal, there's the 2-1-2, there's that. It just jumps out at you.
Okay, here's a good question from Scott. Do you ever have a free open house? And the answer is no, we don't do a free open house for Quant Edge because the education is so important. So it's just the most efficient thing for everybody is for people to start the education and join the room at the same time to make sure everybody's on the same page. It doesn't work for Quant Edge, but that's why we make it just $147.50. It might as well be free because even if you just learn one or two things from the course, it's going to pay for itself. And again, cancel at any time. The max you'll pay is $147.50 if you don't like it. Chuck asks a great question. Can I sign up? Yes, you can, Chuck. t3live.com/Rob. And so somebody's asking, do I need a coupon code or a discount code? No, the answer is no. You could see my screen. All you got to do, t3live.com/Rob. Scroll down. The discount is already entered. Just fill in your information. You'll be signed up. You can start in the room tomorrow. Coaching is tomorrow night, so you can get a taste of Rob's coaching right away. And guys, again, don't forget, if you sign up today, it has to be before midnight. Has to be before midnight. You get a free ticket to the Active Trader Summit. $495 value on the house. That's 4 live master classes at that event. It's a full day live event in New York City. Sign up by midnight tonight. And again, you get the ticket for, sorry, getting my slides a little bit mixed up. Sign up tonight. You get this extra $495 bonus. We'll contact, as long as we can see that you bought by midnight tonight, we have to contact you about the ticket tomorrow because we have to process it manually. But as long as we have your record, you'll be good to go. Is there another question? Is there an open house? Yes, this is the open house.
Another thing I want to say is tomorrow's coaching session. I know a lot of people are going to be coming in cold, right? You'll just have the day and then the coaching session. You won't have had time to really go through the course. And so what I used to do, and I will do tomorrow, is like I used to just have a night session. I used to call it the night session. We'd go sometimes 3-4 hours because I didn't have a course. So tomorrow, and I always will do this, but I like to, once the questions mellow out, I just like to keep it so somebody doesn't have to watch a 4-hour video. But tomorrow, I will stay on as long as it takes. I will make it worth $147.50 tomorrow. All right, before you even know what hits you, you're going to understand this stuff right tomorrow night.
Yeah, so again, people keep asking about an open house. This is the open house. Like, remember, this is more of an integrated offer because it includes the education. So we make it the price is, it might as well be free because anybody, I guess here's an important question to ask, and I want you guys to participate. You have to participate. If you can learn one trading technique that has a positive impact on your results, what's that worth to you? Like one thing, let's say it makes you another $500 or $1,000 a month. Like, what's that worth to you? Like, that's what we're really asking. All right, one impactful thing, $100,000. Great answer, Mark. 1,500, 2,800, 3,300. We have another Mark saying a lot. So again, right?
How much is it worth to know that you never have to do anything else again? That you don't have to sit here and do what I did, 20 years of going through indicators, all this stuff, and what works and what doesn't work. You don't have to do that anymore. No matter how hard you want to work or not work, this is what you want to work on because it's the truth. Finally, people can put their work ethic to work on something that's true, because anything else is going to be constant. This guy says do this. This guy says do this, right? You after this, you don't care what anybody says, even me, right? Because I'm showing you this is how it works. Once you know that, you're your own guru. You can do whatever you want, and you won't be able to talk to any of your friends that don't know this, right? They'll sound ridiculous, right? But once you know this, you know it for life, right? So that's what this is really worth. The comfort and relaxation of knowing finally how it really works. And a lot of people say that, no, this is how it works because this is how it has to, and it can't change, right? It's very relaxing. I mean, if the first time when I first figured it out, I just was just blissful and laughing for so long. I'm like, this is awesome. Like, finally did it. 20 years of work, and then 7 more to refine it. But I did it. This is how it works, and you don't have to search anything anymore. This is what you want to work on, period. And like I said, I will make $147.50 worth it tomorrow, period. Even if you only stayed for a day, it'll be worth it tomorrow.
Yeah. So here's the Arthur. Thanks a lot. So here's like another good question somebody asked is like, how do I cancel if I don't like it? Now, I'm gonna say we have the least annoying process in the industry. It takes about 30 seconds. All you have to do is call us and say, this isn't for me. We're going to ask you why, and that's it. Like, we don't bust people's chops. We don't keep you on the phone for an hour trying to cross-sell you like 88 different things. You'll know within a couple of weeks whether this works for you. And $147.50 is cheaper than most courses. Again, you're getting a $795 course. That's like the real value. And then if you want to stay on, you can stay on. But again, Mark Mel, our buddy Mark Melnick's here. This is Rob's life work for $147.50. Literally a steal. So again, people asking, again, why is it so inexpensive? Because people take the course.
I want you to see this stuff. I want you to I want you to be successful, and I want you to go tell other people and do this. I get really sick of watching this technical analysis garbage on TV and being in an industry where 80 to 90% of people blow out. I'm trying to solve that problem for you, because this industry is horrible. That's why I do it cheap. That's why I work so hard, right? Because I want you to see this. I figured it out, right? So you don't have to look anymore, right? And we need to all spread the word out here, right? So we can get rid of all this garbage out there, right? This is how it works. Okay, so for $147.50, even if you're skeptical, what if I'm right? Put it that way. What if I'm right? Would you wish you would have spent 147.50 if I'm right about what I'm telling you? I think so, right? But if I'm right, and I am, and I'll show it to you. Like I said, I'll make it worth it. I'll make it worth it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you could lose $147.50. You could lose a lot more than 147 bucks on a bad trade. On a
And
bad
there's people that make money and are still stressed out during the day. It's not even worth it, right? If you're stressed out during the day, the money's not even worth it, right? But you've seen people, they'll still smash keyboards even though they make money and they're stressed out, right? This way you're relaxed, we're laughing, we're having a good time because we know what's happening.
Okay, here's a great question from Diana. I'm not from the U.S. How would this help me? I'm from India. We have people from all over the world are in our rooms. There are people from places like Israel, Colombia, Argentina, England, Scotland, Mexico. There are people from all over the place. So, I mean, every single room at T3, actually, there are people from everywhere. Like, we're big in England, we're big in Israel, we're big in Germany, Colombia for some reason, Argentina. People are from all over the world. And the cool thing is that, remember, we have somebody from Thailand right now that's talking to us. So you got to remember that what this really about is price action. Rob wants you to understand how price works. Now, if you understand how price movement works, it doesn't matter if you're trading Apple, the dollar, Google options, the Thai baht, the Chinese yuan, the yen, Indian stocks, German stocks.
Anything.
All right, now Scott's asking how many trading ideas are shared in the trading room per day, and I'm going to steal that question from Rob. More than you can use. You're always that's the cool thing. There's never a shortage of ideas, and there's never a shortage of people that are willing to share with you. So this is like another funny way of looking at it is, even if you're lazy and you don't want to do any work, you can kind of just hang out and take advantage of the stuff people are sharing. We would like you to participate, but obviously we can't force you.
No, there's a lot of people who lurk and have never posted. They just get it. And they're like, Rob, you just keep talking. We know what to do. Because once you know what to do, you're good to go. So the amount, like as we said before, is about how much do you want to do. Like I said, some people watch the gap list and they'll just watch the 30-minute and 60 minutes. Kick back. It only triggers every 30 minutes and every hour, right? And that's fine. There's more than enough to just do on that. So and they're not trading ideas. All right, I want to be very clear about that. I'm like, this is an idea. It's not an idea. Here's what's going on, man. Right? Go. Right? It's not an idea. It's here's where time frame continuity kicks in. Here's where this changes into that. Right? If you take that, we can expect the magnitude of this. Right? In such and such a time. Right? So it's not where people are coming up with this could be an idea, maybe. No, it is. Right? It's a matter of being able to gauge the magnitude, as you'll see.
All right. So Sam is asking, I was thinking about buying the pristine method of trading. Any differences or similarity between these programs? All right, so these are completely different. These are truly apples and submarines. That's how different they are. So pristine.
You've heard what I just said about technical analysis, just so you know.
All right. So Rob, we're gonna try to be nice, and we're gonna.
Yes, of course. It's up to you.
Polite.
Yes, no, it's up to you.
But it's completely different. So pristine is technical analysis. It's purely technical analysis. Quant Edge is a completely different way of doing things. And another big thing is today, if you get in today, this is also a lot less expensive. So it's just trading the pristine method is $795. This is $147.50, and it includes the trading room. So it's just an incredibly low-risk way to get started. Learn something new. Again, if you sign up today, only today, you get the Active Trader Summit ticket for free. That's a $495 value on us. But you have to sign up today. We have to see that you process your payment by midnight tonight, which is why I want you to get in right now. And I will be there Rob will be there. Mark Melnick will be there. Also, Scott Redler, Sami Abu Saab. There is no code, Harry. There is no code. No discount code required. I'm just going to show you again. Again, just go to t3live.com/Rob. All you got to do, t3live.com/Rob. Scroll down. You guys can see this, right? Quant Edge monthly webinar, minus 147.50. Only pay 100. Yeah, Harry, just leave the box blank. No promo code required, everybody. No promo code required. And again, we want you to get in today so you can get the free ticket. We're getting Quant Edge coaching is going to be crazy tomorrow night. We're getting a lot of people signed up.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be great. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate when people listen, right? Because I'm honestly trying to help you. If I was a salesman, I'm often told I'm not good at that. But if I was a salesman, I'd be charging a lot more and chest bumping a lot more. I just said, just come see it. I just want you to see it.
Yeah, no, our good friend Mark Melnick has a great, just made a great comment. Value is there at 20 times the price.
All right.
If you are, and I think Rob would agree with this. If you are unwilling to invest in yourself, you will never succeed. So you got to ask yourself, like, what is success worth? Like, what is improving your skills worth? Is it worth 147? I mean, basically what we're asking you two questions, basically. Do you think you're worth $147.50? Like, are you worth making that investment in yourself? The other one is, can Rob make you $147 in the next month? I think he can. The Quant Edge room is booming. It's grown huge this year. People love it because it's something completely different.
How much would you pay to sleep at night? How about that?
That is it. Yeah. So that's a good question. I think that's something you should talk about. So, because we hear from a lot of traders that stress is a big problem for them. They're like, even if they're making money, they're constantly worried. So what changes? Like, what if I join Quant Edge? What's going to change?
You don't think what happens. We know what's happening. We know exactly what's going to happen. Nothing takes us by surprise because we know what is happening. There's only so many possible outcomes from one bar to the next, right? So one of the reasons that people are still scared even if they have winning trades, is because they don't know why they're winning, right? Zig Ziglar said that fear stands for false expectations appearing real, right? And that's what's going on because you don't know. We do know. That's why we're having so much fun. We're laughing. We know exactly what's happening. It's just nothing. It's not possible to surprise us, because in order for us to lose, we'll just get out. It's got to go. It's got to go at 2-2. It's got to go 1-2 against us. We just get out. No big deal. But when we're right, we're real right, right? And like I said, these small losses, you start with small, and then because we can gauge magnitude with the triangles, you just sit there and pound and add the whole way up, right? So your winners are always your biggest positions. And your loser is always your smallest position. It has to be by design. And we know what's happening. It's not, I think this could possibly maybe be an idea. Yeah, it is. Right? And if it doesn't go, just get out. Unknown participant. And sometimes you'll have to do battle and say, we know it's going to work, but there's somebody in there plugging it up a little bit. That's fine. Stop out, stop out, stop out. Bam, here she goes. Right?
Yeah. So I think people should really understand that one of the biggest benefits is just taking away that confusion of why is this happening? Why is the market, why is the market doing this? Why is that stock going there? You'll always have an answer. You don't have to spend 6 hours reading a million tweets and news stories and reports and this and that and blah, blah, blah.
Asking anybody. You don't have to ask anybody. You know. You don't even have to ask me. You know exactly what's happening. Right? That's the beauty of it. Everybody, we all know exactly what's happening. Right? There might be some things that some other charts that are related to it, that it might help it out, that I'll be pointing out. But once you understand all it is 1, 2, 3 in time frame continuity, and that the 3 and compound threes give you the magnitude, that's all there is. It's beautiful. You know exactly what's going on and what to do.
All right, so here's another one of my favorite questions. I love the trolls on our webinars. They think we avoid their questions, but we answer them all.
Okay.
If this strategy is so good and effective, why do you charge money? It's because it's worth money. That's why it's not free. People who get courses for free don't use them. They don't appreciate them.
Also, I've given a ton out on my YouTube for free, right? I've put out so much stuff for free, it's ridiculous, right? But at this point, either you believe me or you don't. Like I said, if 147.50 is not almost free to you, right? I don't know what is.
Guys, so all right, so again, let's recap the offer very quickly. Again, you get the Quant Edge room, you get a whole month of it, 9 to 4, Monday to Friday, $295 value. Coaching sessions every Thursday, so that means there's coaching tomorrow. Weekly and daily videos plus a signal spreadsheet. The entire 16 hours. 16 hours. 16 hours. I'm saying it because it's a lot. Home study program. $795 value. The whole Quant Edge video library. The Netflix of trading. Plus the ticket. The Active Trader Summit ticket, which is worth $495. Only if you buy tonight. Only if you buy tonight. Again, 50% off your first month. So it's just $147.50. I am going to, so guys, I shut the link out. We're going to shut down. Do you guys have any more questions? It's almost bedtime. So if you guys have any more questions, let us know right now. Okay, that is going to wrap us up. Everyone, thank you all for spending time with us. We understand your time is valuable. We hope you had a good time. We hope you learned a couple things. And guys, can't say this enough. This is an awesome deal. We've never made this deal before. Sign up tonight, get the ticket. Come hang out with us in New York on October 13th.
And come see me tomorrow. But I thank for everybody who came out today. And even if you're not coming with us, I'll see you in the future. I promise you that. And everybody who is, I look forward to all day tomorrow and all night tomorrow and for the rest of your life.
All right, everybody. Have a great evening.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks.